So I went on vacation with my family and I wanted to download a few basic games before I left. Something like really simple for boarding and things like that. And when I tried to download Hangman, maybe I'm old, but like, why does Hangman even have ads? And it wasn't like a little banner or like a video at the beginning of the game. It was just like unplayable. And like, okay, I would have bought the game for like a buck if the ads were reasonable. I guess it's like strange coming from PC because I know that computer gamers would be way less forgiving. Because like this is not some indie game. Like this is Hangman. I'm a developer myself, right? Like I'm for supporting devs. Most of my videos are about the game that I'm building where real life quests sync with an action RPG. I feel like this was excessive. Anyway, since I had the environment more or less set up, I decided to quickly make my own free and offline game pack for the kids. The TLDR was that like despite being way more basic than the games out there, like it kept their attention just fine. Partly because I added some real life achievements they can earn by beating the games. So like for example, if they beat like, multiplication and division, they could stay up late that night or something like that. But really, if I mean, it's because it was already a screen. Like screens are already attention grabbing enough. Like they're forbidden magic devices. These games don't need any extra help when the kids are this young. They'd be completely fine playing like Snake. And then I publish it on Google Play because I thought it'd be good practice to go through the process and add another free random game against like the tide of monetization. So yeah, the app exists. It's on Google Play. It's free. It's offline. There are no ads. It's dark. No casino things. And I'll go into that later. But first, as I kept going down this rabbit hole, like I kept finding more and more games that were just like completely sketchy. And it wasn't even like about costing money or having ads. Like these games just felt like complete nukes to give to a toddler. Like, check this game out.
Baby bus.
Like, am I crazy? Like this game feels like so over the top. And like when my kids were younger, if I let them play this, like they would just completely lock in and then crash out, like when it was time to end. And this game has like 100 million downloads and super high ratings. And it's not like alone. Like I easily found six more games just browsing. Every game has ads and like in-app purchases, and I just feel like they would all melt kids like my kids' brains. And it's just like why? You know, let's just put that it's not good for your kids aside. But like why would you do this to yourself? Like you're just setting up future tantrums about all those like stupid in-app purchases. And because like I keep saying, like basic games would work just fine. Like all this extra stuff that these games have, they're just competing against one another, and they're trying to maximize how much money they can suck out of you. Like it has nothing to do with your kids. And like I know it's not impossible to find good kid games. Like there's plenty out there. Here's Khan Academy Kids. It felt very genuine and it's free. It still required an internet connection and an account, but like okay, it's still free. But it does feel like there's just more sketchy games than good ones out there. And it's not like, I'm anti-game. Like I said, I'm a developer. When I was 7, I had like a Super Nintendo. I learned to read English because of Zelda. Now, like my wife and I play with my kids that they're older. And like, I'm more okay with these games because you're like an active participant. There's like a complex story you need to pay attention to. It takes weeks to build. We solve puzzles. We're playing the game together. We have like a set time limit that we're playing for. Anyway, because like to me, like the root problem of all the brain rot stuff are like the quick reward loops and like the casino mechanics. It's like tap it into like the kids collecting phase of their life and just inserting loot boxes in there. And like besides that, like, the ability to just go next and next and next is also just awful for you. And like it affects me too, right? I had to cancel my Spotify because I just found myself constantly skipping songs and just liking music less. I got like way too picky and I just ended up not even listening to anything. And like I'm not alone. Like, there's research basically coming out that says the same thing. And I guess there's no way I would do this to my kids when like tag is still fun. Anyway, I'll show you the game that my kids liked and what they liked about it. Then I'll go over the publishing steps. Basically, Android does not make this process easy anymore, which, I think just makes this whole monetization problem way worse. Anyway, let's do the game. Like I said earlier, it's like super basic. and that's like the point. It's got Hangman, Pictionary, Dots, and Number Munchers, which is some math game based from the 90s. Let's start with Hangman. It's exactly what you think it is. It's Hangman. There are 3 difficulty levels. The more you win, the more coins you get. Getting something like 500 coins helps you get the Cheeky Pack. This is basically a set of mischief words for the kids. It's filled with like Minecraft and Mario lingo and words like butt. And yeah, like this caught their attention for quite a while. And then on top of this, I added like a real life achievement where if they solved 180 medium and hard words, they would get like a pizza dinner. And like, the kids got super into this game. Next up was Pictionary. Again, like we all know what Pictionary is. The only thing I did was I added an extra hint section. And that way the kids could see the image first and get primed. Because like once kids start drawing, they really get sucked in. And then on top of that, like my wife and I were there to try to guess their drawings, and like became quite a really big hit. Dots wasn't as big. I think we played a few times, but it like didn't really stand out. And then finally, Number Munchers worked really well. Like this was basically just a math game, and the kids played it for hours. Partly because my wife and I played, we set a bunch of high scores, and there was some real life prizes. But I still suspect that the real reason it worked was because a screen is a screen. These kids are going to be happy playing with whatever game they can play. Anyway, that's the game in a nutshell. The next thing I tried to do was publish it. Because, like, yeah, I kept complaining about the lack of free things out there. So I might as well go ahead and try to add something for free. But yeah, like, it's not easy. As of 2023, to publish anything on a personal account, you're going to need 12 beta users and 2 weeks of continuous testing. And like, who the hell is going to do that? Especially for a free app. And I feel like it's not just Google's fault, right? Like they had to add these gates because they were getting slammed with garbage apps. It's sort of like the reason we can't have nice things is because we're always trying to like, game the system. But they did make the threshold too high, I think. And like now a bunch of free apps are disappearing. And it's not like my imagination. From like 2024 to 2025, like half of the apps disappeared. I guess I feel like this decision was too heavy-handed. First, like developers pick Android because it's easier to work with, but now, like, maybe starting on Apple actually might be best. Apple controls the US market. Like most of adults use Apple. I feel like it's 80%. And it's not that much more of a hassle anymore. And I feel like as a platform, you want developers to prefer you because you never know, like, what might be the next thing. And I think to me, the more annoying part was that, developers who made it their account before 2023, they were grandfathered into being trusted. And like personal accounts going forward are always going to need this giant testing phase. And that to me feels like, a pretty big unfair advantage. Like, yeah, alternatively, you can make an LLC and go through that way. But that is like equally a pain in the ass. It costs money. There are like tax things to consider. You need like a DUN number, some business accounts. I guess if I was to change one thing, I think that Google needs to create a path for personal accounts to become trusted. Because like right now, Google Play, I feel like, help create this environment that favors all these sketchy games. Anyway, if you want, download the game. It's offline, it's free, there are no ads. Please let me know what you think or what other games I could add to the pack. For example, I think I'm going to add some flashcards to it to help my other kids study. And yeah, I feel like this is a pretty cool experience. And like and subscribe if you want me to keep publishing free content on Google Play. Thanks.